only people who would benefit from Mahathir's assassination would be Kit Siang and the opposition pact. If the opposition pact wins GE14, Mahathir will grab power, unless they arrest him and put him in jail first. And once Mahathir grabs power, he will never let go. He would then get rid of the other opposition pact leaders such as Kit Siang and put them in jail, like what Lee Kuan Yew did when he grabbed power in Singapore. 3 weeks ago, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad criticized the police and the armed forces for supporting Prime Minister Najib Razak. Then Mahathir dropped a bombshell. He asked if the police and army were willing to wait until some of us are assassinated, including me, before they come to their senses. And when asked by the media if he was afraid of something happening to him, Mahathir replied, "With this man, I am worried about everything." Malaysian Digest reported. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said he did not rule out his assassination as Datuk Seri Najib Razak's endgame, and this may just be one of the many conspiracy theories being played up by the former premier in the run-up to GE14 to gain sympathy votes. Mahathir likened Najib to Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos, who assassinated his nemesis, Benigno Aquino, in 1983. That assassination resulted in Marcos's downfall in 1986, and Aquino's widow, Corazon, took over as the president of the Philippines. All this sounded like cheap drama on 6 April 2018 when Mahathir first revealed the assassination plot against him. Many, in fact, poo-pooed the whole thing as rantings of a senile old man. However, since then, investigations have revealed that the assassination of Mahathir may not be nonsense after all. The late Tun Abdul Razak spent whatever little time he had building cross-cultural bridges to unite the races. In the process, he built bridges between the palace and UMNO to make sure that the Malay identity was preserved at the vanguard of Malaysian politics. Mahathir came along and burnt those bridges. He pervaded UMNO with a culture of crony capitalism that corrupted the party down to the core. As the party was corrupted, so was the Malay identity. DAP leaders began to have very little regard for the Malays and questioned the privileges accorded to them. Thanks to Najib, that identity has since been restored at the vanguard of Malaysian politics, with bridges having been rebuilt between the palace and UMNO. Should Mahathir return to power, the DAP will likely to rule the country by proxy once he's gone and relegate that identity to bottomless pits. There is something fundamental that Dr. Mahathir Mohamad does not seem to understand. It is that there never was a time our rulers saw eye to eye with him on anything Malay or Islam. Contrary to what negative news peddlers are now saying, our palaces have always been in favor of Dato Seri Najib Razak, for it is he who resurrected the spirit of multiracial Malaysia that his father, the late Tun Abdul Razak, envisioned back in the early 70s. Thanks to Razak, our rulers were content knowing that the Malay identity was well regarded at the vanguard of Malaysian politics. The late premier made this possible by presenting the aristocrats with ample opportunity in UMNO. It was a compromise that prompted the palace to grant leeway for Razak to lead the country without interference. As a result, UMNO was able to grow together with the Chinese and Indians in ways that moderated Malay nationalism towards pragmatism.